you doing, folks? It's been a long time since I posted. I'm back, getting into lovely weather here in Ireland again, and we've decided, me and Callum, my son,
hello.
Yeah, we've decided to go over here and strip down the cd175. Hope to get this bike done this year, finished this year, and on the road. I've got a lot of the parts now. I've got almost every part I need except for exhausts, which I will get later on. They're quite expensive, so I just have to bide me time and save the money for them. But everything else I have got now, and there's no reason why I shouldn't strip it down and try and get the paint done. And whenever the paint's done, at least a lot of the other stuff will be a lot easier done. It wouldn't be too much to do. So we're headed over to a place where I keep the bike, and we'll see you there. So this is it, guys. We've got pretty far stripping it down here, as you can see. Back wheel off, engine out, wire and loom is almost completely off. We've made our way to the front headlight here. As you can see, it doesn't look to be in too bad a condition from what I can see so far. In there, swing arm's a bit rusty, but I hope there's no holes. As I said before, somebody has welded this stand on. Also, there's Callum, by the way. Callum's been helping me rip this apart here. I'm having trouble getting this indicator screw off here, and they can be a real bitch to get off. Trying to get this headlight bucket off, which I've realised that this piece is actually broken on it, and it's going to need to be fixed or replaced, one of the two. Once we have that out, we can take the wiring off, and we're down to taking the front wheel off and handlebars, and maybe the shocks as well, and that's it. And we're ready then to start getting ready for paint. So there you go. Well, bike all stripped down now, guys. Another year, another project. You have seen this one on the back burner for a while on YouTube. I was going to tackle into my CD17 or my CB125 RS. Unfortunately, the man that has it, that's meant to do the welding on the frame, hasn't got around to it yet, so I guess that's going to have to wait another while. So I've decided that we're going to do this instead, and this is it. And as you can see, the frame is it's in pretty decent shape. There's no real rust holes that I can see anywhere in this frame. You can see how much rust from the top of it up here has fell down. It's not actually that bad. It is in this part, but I can get a wire brush in there and brush off the loose stuff, try and get a bit of rust treatment in there. The head bearings, I've been checking them, and don't know if you can hear that, but that's a little bit of play there. So the head bearings are going to need changing. Usually I wouldn't do that, but this particular time it's warranted. It needs it. Then there's a good stand on the bottom of it, a center stand, and I really didn't want to mess with that, because on these bikes a lot of the time they get very loose in the frame, and they can rattle around a lot. But I need to get this brake lever off, because I'm gonna maybe replace that with a nice clean one. Also, I believe from looking at this that this footrest has got a slightly bent over. It should be more straight than that. So I'm going to have to heat that up and try and straighten that out. But that's it. That's what we're up against with it. I'm about to start doing my first little bit of cleaning up on the frame here and see how far we get. Might take that swing arm out of it maybe. If it'll come out. If not, it's staying where it is. So that's it. We'll see how we get on. Oh, by the way, I was mentioning this was welded earlier. You can see just how ugly that welding is. It has held it on pretty good, but I think I could just get a grinder and clean that up a little bit. I think it's fine that it's welded on. You know, I think it's doing a good job there, and the original ones that were screwed into the frame didn't really work that well anyway. So I think I'll just clean that up and that should do it okay. And that's it for now. I'm going to get my tools out and let's see how we get on. So I'm working away now. I've took a few of the little pieces, bits and pieces that was on there off, such as the airbox, hello, the rectifier. I took the coil off, just a couple of little bits, and there was a switch that the previous owner had put onto this. Must have been like he mustn't have had an ignition. I see that the, well, sorry, I meant the owner before the previous owner, who had it all his life, must have put this switch onto it because he didn't have an ignition, and that was his ignition. Which is kind of cool that it still works, but I won't be putting it back on. I took that off. I've been trying to get this footrest plate off in there, that bolt, and I see unfortunately that somebody else has been working at this before, and they were on the other side. If you go around the other side, you'll see that they have broken a bolt there. So that's not going to be simple. I'm going to have to drill that out, and drilling that stuff out is not something that I'm good at, but I'll just have to give it a try. Also, on the back here where the shock goes, which strangely enough on the last cd175 I done was the exact same, this had broken off. Somebody tried to over tighten it maybe, I don't know, but on both frames it was the same. Luckily for me, I had for the CB125RS, I bought a CB100 frame to cut bits off, and this has the right piece on it, so I'm going to cut that off that and get it welded onto this frame. That should sort that issue for me. Very little welding to be done on this frame, I think. I'll know when I get that swing arm out, but it's looking pretty solid. Even this plate here looks pretty solid. Lucky enough for me that way. So once I get this stuff off, and then I can start cleaning up. I'll probably take these feet rests off, even though one of them does have to be straightened out just a tiny bit. I can do that later on, but I'm just sussing out what has to be done first, and then we'll make a plan. Over here on the table, this is all the bits. Tank, new side panels. That light might not be any good to me. The back of it has rusted a lot. These are the new mud guards I got for it that my brother welded up, patched in bits. All the places that they usually go down around the side there, you can see. This one's pretty solid, even though it doesn't look like that. That's just paint bubbling. That'll clean up. I have this chain guard, and Rob Park, a guy that I know from some of the cd175 pages, has sold me a bottom piece for that. So they're very hard got. I'm happy to get that. Battery tray, obviously. The shocks. One of the shocks is busted. I need to redo the seals. But strangely enough, there's no real pitting around the essential areas, so hopefully that's alright. Unfortunately, You can see that the ears are destroyed and have been welded umpteen times, which is not ideal. So I have bought a new set of them and they're on their way. And that's it, that's all I've got for now. I'm going to try and keep these bolts all in the right places because I'm going to replate some of these bolts. Seeing as you can't really get them unless they're very expensive. Unfortunately, that's what you have to deal with. Anyway, I need experience at plating these. I've tried it before, I didn't really get it right, but I'll try it again until I do perfect the process. And that's it, guys, that's as far as I've got. I'll try and get this swing arm off if the axle will move in it. I'm hoping that it will without too much trouble. But first of all, I want to get this plate off, and that's what I'm working on now. I'm gonna wet it down with my WD-40 and let it sit for a while. Yeah, so I got this, took the foot peg off, and I've got my trusty map gas here, and I'm going to try and give it a bit of heat because I do not want to take a chance on snapping that bolt. So that's what we're going to do. Yeah, we'll get a bit of stuff on that now. I try and get as much to go in as possible. 1 second. Time to see will it shift now. I don't know where to put you that you can watch. Yeah, just give me a moment and I'll see if I can find somewhere. I gave the bolt a good couple of hammers before I tried to turn it there, and it is moving now. So we got lucky. That's coming loose now. Great stuff. Then I'll put the peg back on that I don't lose it. That other one looks pretty much like a problem child too, if you can see it there. There it is. Huh, it's pretty rusted in there. Yeah, okay, that plate's hot. I'll be back in a second. Yep, so there's another one just up here. It's like a size 10. That appears to be the one that somebody has also broke on the other side. So I'm going to try and get that out now. Might just apply a bit of heat to it anyway, whether it needs it or not. Yeah, I just realised if I try applying heat to this, I could make a mess of my bushings in the swing arm, assuming they're not bad. So don't think that's a good idea. I'm going to try and just loosen it as it is first. Hopefully not snap it, and if it won't budge, I'll have to heat it. But I'm going to try and not do that because I don't want to annoy the bushings in that swing arm. Well, surprisingly, that came off just easy enough. Just screwed right off. Couldn't believe it. Right, I'm going to turn it over to the other side and see what we can do there. Yeah, so I think this other side's also going to need to be heated. You can see how rusty that is. So I'm just going to heat it. There's actually a nut on the other side that somebody has put on, so obviously in the past the threads have been wrung in that piece. And hopefully it'll come off without much difficulty. We'll heat it up anyway and see. For those of you who don't do a lot of this, you'll be lost without your map gas. It really is a lifesaver when it comes to things like this. I mean, if it's gonna budge at all, it'll budge when you heat it. and just dump a load of WD-40 onto it, especially in the threaded area behind. Woo! Yeah, so I can't do this with one hand, so I'm going to try and give it a twist now and see will it move. Guys, that worked an absolute charm. There's coming out. Probably at nuts turning with it. That's what is going on. I'm going to have to get the vice grips on the back of that. Hold on, I need 2 hands to do this, so back in a second. So that came off without much issue. I'm now going to try and remove the swing arm. Going to undo this bolt. Hopefully I'm not going to have many issues and it'll just hammer out without much issues, but you just never know. But one thing I do find about these older bikes, I don't know if it's the type of steel they were using or whatever, but they do tend to come apart quite easy compared to the newer stuff. I'm not sure why that is, but usually you'll not have a massive amount of trouble getting one of these took apart. I just gave it a little try there and I can already tell this is not going to go well. So I have it on the ground here. I'm going to put my foot to it and see if I can get it to move. Yeah, well that took quite a bit of force, but it's moving now. You see I have the vice grips farmer's tool on the other side, and trying to get it to move here. Just hit the button by accident there. But no heat required just yet. I'm not going to take this nut off full because I may need to hit the bar a little bit and I don't want to destroy the threads. So I might give it a little whack now when it's there. See how we get on. Yeah, so I got my nut off. We're going to try and wiggle it from the other side with the vice grips and see if it'll come out. The bar was moving a little bit there, so I'm hopeful that it'll come out. It's actually not doing too bad here. Hopefully it'll stay doing that. Not that simple. Switch to the other hand. I'm trying to keep you entertained, but I'm doing this all with one hand. Yeah, getting tight now. Yeah, might not work out. I might have to hit a wee clip with the hammer and see how we get on here. No, that's not budging. Prior vice grips is coming off it. Oh, take the weight off it and it just slides out. Great. So that's the swing arm off, and the brackets for the foot pegs. Great. One less issue to deal with. I'm going to try and pull this out now. Just give me a sec. And it just came out, no problems at all. I just have to get it out of its position. It is moving. Yeah, it's up above now. We got it. We got it. There we go. Oh no, guys, it isn't good underneath. Yeah, that's what I was not hoping to see. And it's pretty bad, both sides. So that is going to be no good. It's not even, I think, salvageable by a welder. It's gone through that bad. May have to get a new one of those, if possible. Oh, that's disappointing. Anyway, we'll move on, try and do some more with the frame. Okay, so this is the old bolt that was snapped for the foot pegs holder or plate, and I'm gonna see by some miracle if I can heat this up and grab it with the vice grips and see if it'll move. Save me a lot of trouble drilling it out if that's the case. We'll see what happens. You're not gonna believe it, guys. It actually worked. Great, that's going to save me a lot of work. Now, back to the swing arm. This is a big disappointment because my other project has been held up by welding also. And I haven't got anyone to weld it now because my brother's a busy man. I can't always be asking him to do all these things. I might have to look for a new one. If any of you guys on my Facebook page has one lying around that's solid, can you give me a shout, please? Bar that, I'll have to go on the eBay or something and look for one. But look, I haven't had a whole big lot of bad news with this bike yet, so I'm hoping that that's going to be the only thing. Let's hope so.